Hello and welcome to the LDM Show. And if you guys just logged on, I told you we're going to have a great day today. So for the whole hour that's left, we're going to be talking about magic, illusions, and everything else that we have going. But if you guys just seen the flyer, I had to bring him in. I seen him. He's been around. He's been like amazing Ben and Teller. Like if you get to see them, you got to see the guys from them practicals. You know, I'm saying this guy's been like pretty much around where if you've been in under the rock, then you might not know him. But you gotta pop up and get to know these people, especially when they do the close-up magic. Not this magic where it's on TV and then all of a sudden the camera will switch and they come back and they got a tank. I can do that. Matter of fact, I can do that with editing. Can we do that right now? No? Oh. You know, it's the power of editing. But I have Chris here. You know, Chris, thank you for coming today.
No problem.
And, you know, we're going to be doing a little show for us in a few minutes.
Yeah, I've got some things.
Oh, okay. So, first of all, what made you start magic? That's like the first question everybody wants to know.
Oh, now I gotta go think back 11 years.
Oh, wow.
No, I've been doing it it'll be 11 years in November. And I remember specifically I had done a card trick for my grandfather. And as a matter of fact, I will probably do that card trick tonight. Okay. As long as the camera's in the right position, because you kind of got to see it in order to know what's going on. But I did a card trick for my grandfather, and he told me that he really liked it, and that if it's something that I wanted to do, then you should just keep doing it. And unfortunately, he passed away soon after. This was November 2006. And I started pursuing it. I started doing, you know, shows for my grandmother's nursing, not really nursing, it was like a 55 and older house for, you know, the residents there. And then I started reaching out. I was on the news at one point, and then I was like, oh, this is really cool. Imagine all the people I can meet. Since then, I have been on Tosh.0. I have become friends with the Impractical Jokers. I have met Penn and Teller and performed for them after one of their shows that was on Broadway. I have had my own public access television show. I have been all over Manhattan. I've drank with celebrities. I've been able to go into some very nice clubs and bars and perform. And I had a hand in bringing back Crystal Pepsi to the market. So, and I'm not one where I like to say that I've done a lot, but if it wasn't for a pack of cards and a couple of other things, then I probably wouldn't have been able to do as much as I have in my life. And I'm still going. It was just the start. So right. It's true. It's an amazing resume for you to have. Oh,
so.
Yeah.
But like that, since you said your grandfather's trick, that was like the first trick you ever did?
It was the first. I had done a lot more before that, but it was the first one that I had done that actually worked.
Yeah, you know, like you actually fooled people.
Like, wow, okay, that's not a trick deck, you know, that you bought at the dollar store.
Right.
So,
yeah, I remember my first trick when we were small was that little box that when you turn it over and it disappears.
I have one of those.
Hey, that was my limitations of that.
I just started remodeling my living room in my new apartment, and my girlfriend, hi Sam, she's like, what is all this stuff? And I'm trying to explain to her, and I found that, and that's like 10 years ago. That, and everybody always says they have that box, then there's the little vase that's got the ball. Yeah. You make the ball, you put it in your pocket, and it appears back in the vase. I've got that sitting on my shelf too. So.
Yeah, that was one of those things that you can buy from the little magic store type of thing.
Dollar store, honestly, from the dollar store.
Yeah, those was good ones, and it was amazing because people, oh my God, how you made that little thing disappear? But then sometimes the box thing gets stuck. Hey, I see it.
Yeah, and you gotta kind of lie to them. Oh, it was part of the illusion.
Yeah. But as a matter of fact, we were just watching a show with, I forgot his name, but he's a magician, but a comedian magician. Like he had a balloon, and then he puts a blanket or something over the balloon.
Not the Amazing Jonathan.
I don't know. No, but he popped it. He popped it, and he was like, no more balloon. Like he was making fun of things, and then he had a bell. And then he put the bell here, and then threw the bell, and you hear the bell, ding ding ding.
Yeah.
Disappeared bell. Hey.
That's funny.
He was like, I've been practicing that for that years, people.
That's funny.
But he was just a comedian that that makes fun. But then he does one or two real magic,
Yeah.
But it's just funny how magicians do it certain ways, and
I've always had a theory. You can only put a girl in a box so many times before it gets boring. And then people start to revitalize it and make it their own. And then that masked idiot went on TV and revealed everything.
Yeah, I remember that.
That kind of set the bar, and then now the bar is way up there, And
they did that the magic and wrestling.
Yep.
Yeah, they did both.
I'm also into wrestling too. I used to be a wrestler, and as soon as you learn how that's done, you're like, oh man. Especially me being a magician and a wrestler. I've learned that from being a wrestler, like cutting promos and stuff, and being able to work in front of a crowd, because I was what they call a heel. I was the bad guy.
Oh, okay.
And you'd always have to be able to think on your feet, because you're always going to have somebody trying to heckle you, and that kind of taught me, when I do my shows, everything's off the top of my head, so I know. It's like, if there's a heckler in the crowd saying, "Oh, I know how you do that," I'm like, "Oh, okay, fine, yeah, you think that's cool. Get on up here and I'll make a fool out of you," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've done it before. I've done it a few times where I've had a heckler come up and I end up pickpocketing him or something,
Yeah.
I embarrass him in front of all of his friends he was trying to act cool in front of.
Oh, there's always somebody.
There's always that one.
I know how he did that. Yeah. Oh, check his pockets.
I got a funny story about that. I was actually I was busking up in Times Square, right outside of the Walgreens building, and there's actually two different occurrences of this. There was a heckler in the crowd. So the first guy told me, he's like, "Oh, that's a trick deck." I go, "All right, cool." I reached in my wallet. There's $5. Go to Walgreens, buy any deck of cards you want. Come back out here, and we'll go from there. So he goes, "All right, cool." So he goes in. We're waiting. I'm doing card tricks for everybody else. He comes back out with it was an I Heart New York deck that was in one of those clear plastic cases.
Right.
Couldn't shuffle. Obviously made out of the worst paper you ever find. So I told him, I was like, "Open up the box." And mind you, I had my hands in front of me, like this, and I had them crossed and everything. I hadn't touched the deck, so we got the red table right there and big crowd around me. So I did a 5-minute routine without touching this deck of cards while he's controlling them. And after I was done, I was like, "By the way, you can keep the deck of cards. It's for you." So there was one instance, and he came up to me and he apologized. He's like, "Man, I had no idea." I'm like, "Man, look, I'm just trying to make a living out here." He goes, "No, I'm sorry. But the one that I really liked, though, was there was a school group that was, I think they were from Sacramento or something like that. It was out in front of the Red Steps, and there was it was the kids, and then the chaperone came over who wanted to be a heckler and a ball buster, and she's like, "Yeah, I know exactly what you're doing. You're slipping things and you're controlling cards." I'm like, all right. I gave her that deck. I'm like, "All right, I'll tell you what. You shuffle that deck as much as you want." She goes, "All right." She's shuffling for 3-4 minutes. At this point, I'm getting bored. I'm like, "Man, I could be making money right now." And she's like, "All right, now I'm going to put it behind your back." She goes, "All right, I'm going to take the deck, spread it out in your hands, take one card, put it in your back pocket." All right, so she does it. I go, "Take the deck out from behind your back, shuffle it even more." She goes, "All right," and she shuffled it. I go, "Is this fair?" She goes, "What?" I go, "Is the deck shuffled?" She goes, "Oh yeah, it's shuffled. There's no way you're finding my card." I go, "No, but I want you to name a card for me." She goes, "Okay, Jack of Diamonds." I go, "All right, Jack of Diamonds is in your back pocket." I took the deck from her. I show everybody that the Jack of Diamonds is no longer in there. She reaches into her back pocket, not only apologizes to me on the spot, but gave me a $40 tip. I'm like, "Yeah," and I tell people, about that. And they're like, "Well, how did you do it?" I go, "I have no idea." Because in magic, there's that one time where
it worked.
It'll work and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
So that was just that one out of a million time where it worked, and
it happens. Like I told you, the only trick I know how to do, I can tell them to pick a card and I can shuffle it and tell them which card it is.
Yeah.
And then one time, little kid see me do the trick, and he's like, "Oh, I seen that. He put the right one in there." But before I can put the right one in the bag, I wind up putting the wrong one. And I was like, "Go in the bag." And when he looked, he was like, but I thought, okay.
Yeah, you thought.
You thought. But then I put my mind, damn, these little kids, they see everything.
That's one thing I love about card tricks, is the second you take out the deck, oh, I know this trick. No, you don't. No. Really. There's a million card tricks out there. If you know this one specific trick, I'll give you the deck,
But, we were talking about, like, cutting women in half. Why do you think that, like, that's the main thing that all magicians pretty much do? And it's still being done now.
Because
like, what's the attraction to it?
You can legally saw your wife in half in front of people and not get arrested. That's the way that I really wouldn't be able to do that with my fiance because she's 7 months pregnant. And I don't really think, ratings would be great. Great, don't get me wrong. Penn and Teller wouldn't even touch that one. They probably would, but they'd probably have their own spin on it. But no, it's one of the oldest recorded illusions because of the fact that the way that they used to do it compared to how they do it now are two completely different things. Right. When they used to do it, they had two people in the box. Now they only have one person, but they figured out how they can create the illusion of sawing this one person in half and making it so that way it looks real. And then now there are people, I know 2 guys out in Vegas that do it without a box. It's just a saw blade that comes down, and then the top half of the guy goes over and plays a grand piano. Shout outs to Jared and Raja. But yeah, it's revolutionized magic, but at the same time, it's such a classic that everybody wants it in their show. It's like the illusion that's called the zigzag, where they put the assistant in the box, that big upright box, and then they push the center out, and you can literally, I can do that. If I had it, I could do it in Times Square and nobody would figure it out. Right. But it's a classic, and that's why people want it, because it's time tested. It's literally foolproof, But if you could be standing as far as you and I are and looking at this thing, and I can leave it there for an hour and nobody would figure out how it's done.
The zigzag one I seen it live and I was like, wow.
Oh yeah.
I was like, wait a minute.
A lot of people did that on Broadway. Houdini actually did it too at one point.
But if you guys just logged on right now, we're talking with Chris, he's a magician. We're going to come right back from a short break, and we're going to talk a little bit about him and all his magic, and then he's going to be giving you a little magic show.
Stay tuned.
So stay tuned.
He's got me, he's guilty of loving me enough.
Hello and welcome to the LDM Show. And again, we're here with the magician Chris, talking and shooting the breeze about magic and everything. So and then soon he's going to be doing his little magic tricks to show us the illusions and all that. So we're going to have a little fun with that. But we were talking about a little bit of magic and stuff. But growing up, who's like one of your favorite magicians or illusionists?
When I was really little, I remember watching Lance Burton on TV, and he did this thing where he chained himself to a roller coaster, and he had to escape the roller coaster before it came down. Escape the chains. It's the first thing I remember watching on TV that was magic, and then I saw an episode of Magic Secrets Revealed where they were revealing how the tricks were done, and the idiot in the mask,
that guy,
who at first I was like, oh cool, he's awesome, and then when I start doing this, I'm like, oh great. Dude, really? I saw him. That was like when I was like 8 or 9 years old. It was my grandmother's basement, and I really didn't have a favorite. I didn't really get exposed to a lot of magic until I was 13. After I had started performing. Okay. Chris Angel was the guy I saw on TV. Oh my God, it was his early seasons of Mind Freak, and the first thing I ever remember him doing was getting into he was, I don't remember where exactly he was, but he was standing on a street corner and he had these walkie-talkies, and then there was this, he gave the walkie to this guy, and he points to 2 other people. He goes, you take that trash can and put it over me, and they put the trash can over him. from? And he's like, "You hear me through the walkie?" And he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "When I count to 3, turn the thing over." And they're like, "All right." So he counts to 3. And when they turn it over, he's no longer there, but he's up on the balcony that was like above them. And I was like, it was from that moment, I was like, that's really cool. I want to do that.
Yeah, he's Spanish people call him the person that sold his soul to the devil.
A lot of people say that, and I've met his brother. They are so religious. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Because I guess it's because no one can really understand how he does it. That they like, no. Yeah. Especially when he did the walk on the water and all this. Actually, it was like, he sold the soul.
I met a guy who was on the set when they did that. And he didn't exactly reveal it to us. I mean, I know how it's done. But he didn't tell us exactly how they did it. But he said that it was early in the morning. They closed the pool off. It was freezing cold. And the actors that were in the pool, I just revealed it. Oops. The actors that were in the pool were like fed up because it took them like 3 hours to do it.
Yeah, I know. I heard
he kept slipping, and
that setup takes a long time. Yeah. They said, and it's pretty much you can't really see what you're doing. So
you got to feel for it.
Yeah, you got to feel. Know? That's the problem.
They said that's the reason why he slipped his shoes off halfway through is because he couldn't. All right, it was plexiglass. He was walking up boards of plexiglass. Yeah. For the people that didn't know how it's done, you're welcome.
But it's just him alone. Even his close-up.
His close-up is very good.
And you as a magician, because I just said your favorite magician or illusionist. Break it down for the people that don't understand the difference.
Okay. A magician is the guy that will tell you, to pick a card. He'll be the one that you see at a birthday party. He will, be on the streets, making money.
Rabbits out of hats.
He pulls rabbits out of hats. Illusionists do the exact same thing but demand more money because illusionist sounds a lot more professional than the word magician. Mm-hmm. But illusionists also work with bigger props and stage theatrics, and those are the guys you'll see off Broadway or in Las Vegas. You'll see magicians, but magicians worry more about the trick. Illusionists are very theatric.
Right.
So, like a magician, like as we were saying before, will put a girl in a box and saw her in half and say, "Ooh, look at what I did." Put her back together, she walks out. Mm. An illusionist do the same thing with pyrotechnics and music and laser lights. It's like you're sitting front row seat at Metallica while he's putting a girl in a box, But we still love the art. So it's wording and the way that they do it. It's still we're still performers.
Yeah. So because a lot of like you said, a lot of the illusionists are the Broadway people, and it's true because they'll do a story behind everything.
Oh yeah.
Before they even tell you to pick a card, they have these stories going, and there's things.
And it's always the same thing. Oh, when my brother was dying of cancer, I showed him a card trick and it was his favorite trick, and then they'll drag it out for 20 minutes.
Right.
I am not only quoting 3 or 4 different magicians and shows, but it doesn't work.
I like the parts where they would say, well, "I'm going to do this trick. Many people died from this trick," and
some people have though.
Right.
Like that. Accidents happen, even in magic shows where it's literally called controlled chaos. Accidents, people have died doing these tricks.
Yeah.
There was a case recently where this guy cut his wife's head off because the illusion that they were doing, where you take a saw blade, put it through her center, and then take a chainsaw and put it through her head, and then you put everything right together. Well, the gimmick didn't want to activate, and he legitimately cut her head off, and that was all over the news.
Yeah, it was on the videos on YouTube.
Gruesome to watch. And then there's recently that guy who slammed the news anchor's hand down on the nail, and it went through.
Oh, that one I didn't see.
Oh, that's hard to watch.
Yeah, there was a couple of especially the ones that shoot the arrows and stuff like that. There was a couple of mishaps.
Oh, on America's Got Talent.
Yeah, little mishaps and stuff like that. But it's part of the illusion where not everything is an illusion. It's sometimes timing and gimmicks and stuff like that and gadgets.
What it is as well is you have to be able to think on your feet. It's still the show must go on. Houdini, everybody thinks that Houdini died during one of his tricks, and he didn't. He finished the trick but he was transported to a hospital, you know, where he died in the hospital. But he finished the show with appendicitis because the boxer punched him in the stomach when he wasn't ready. He developed appendicitis. His appendix ruptured. Finished the show, but unfortunately passed away.
Yeah, he opened the door to many people. Charlie Chaplin used his stuff on his screen.
Well, it was
a lot of people.
It was Charlie Chaplin, some other person, and Houdini were the three biggest celebrities of that time.
Yeah,
you know, because Houdini was a movie. He also did movies. He did stunts. A lot of people don't know that the reason why Houdini was able to get out of a lot of the restraints that he would get locked into is because on the set of one of his movies, he got shot in the hand by a .22. His hand was literally able to fold in half, letting him get out of these restraints. Not a lot of people knew that. He never got it fixed because he realized it made his life easier.
He could dislocate his shoulders and stuff like that. But at those times, it was like amazing. You know, like... And I think he came out in the perfect time. It was, you know, a lot of people were looking for jobs, and, you know, then it was like how labor laws were coming out and all this other stuff.
The Great Depression. Yeah,
the Great Depression. And they needed something to divert themselves from what's going on. And he came out on the perfect time.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he wasn't just one person who would go out onto the stage. He hung himself upside down in a straitjacket 5 stories over Times Square. That's one of the most iconic things. Right over where Walgreens is now, where the ball drops. He was hanging right from there. And people still remember that. Yeah,
he's one of the ones that people will speak about years from now.
Oh, yeah. He's if you ask anybody about a magician, they're going to say Chris Angel or Houdini.
Right.
You know, David Blaine sometimes.
Yeah, I was going to say David Blaine is but he's more of a camera illusionist.
David Blaine's the weird guy on TV who puts spikes through his hands and barfs frogs. So that's what he's pretty much turned himself into.
And what was the other guy's name? Oh, God. To me, he's more of a camera illusionist.
David Copperfield made the Statue of Liberty vanish.
Yeah, he's more of a TV camera illusionist.
Yeah.
He doesn't really do it live type of thing.
No, he does. He does. He's got a show out in Las Vegas, and he does a lot of bigger scale illusions. I've never seen his show personally, but I've had friends say, like, he makes a UFO appear that's enormous.
Yeah, the tank. Yeah. One of my friends said he did a tank. You know, these illusionists stepped up their games.
Oh, yeah.
Especially after The Masked Man.
Well, think about it. It's kind of like the rap game, you know? There's a new rapper every month, you know? They're always coming out with new things. So you've got, like, say, Chance the Rapper is like this, it would be, for example, like the clairvoyants, you know, in this magic age, the clairvoyants are newer. Chance the Rapper's kind of newer on the scene as opposed to Eminem, who would be like Chris Angel. Right. Chris Angel's constantly got to come up with new things because he wants to stay on top of it. You know, and I'm not saying that Eminem's not on top of his stuff, you know, like
but it's just
Eminem, in my opinion, he's the greatest rapper of all time. Right. But, you know, there are guys that are up there who are going to eventually dethrone him, and it's the same thing with magic. They're always evolving, you know.
And then what made you go from doing magic to just staying at close-up, like close-up magic? Because close-up magic is very hard.
Oh, it is. But I mean, like, I do stage stuff too, but I don't enjoy it as much as I'd like to do close-up. I think the thing that keeps me doing close-up magic, I mean, as much as I have stayed up all night in Times Square, is the reactions. And I had a video go viral on YouTube back in 2013 because of a reaction that I had gotten. Wow. And well, basically, to break it down, what it was is there was a guy I was doing a magic trick to in my hometown. I didn't know him, and he ended up losing his mind, dancing on the sidewalk, running down the street, and then coming back going, "Yo, he's the devil, he's the devil." And I'm like, I'm trying, you can see me in this video, trying to hold my composure, trying not to laugh. Fast forward to 2013, Aziz Ansari comes out with his new Netflix special, Buried Alive, and in it he talks about reactions to magic and how he thinks it's a great stereotype. He made fun of that video. Mind you, that video was released 4 years prior. You know, the next thing you know, it's all over the internet. I go from 1,000 views that morning to 250,000 by the end of the day. I'm all over. I was on the front page of Reddit. I was all over like the suggested videos on YouTube. I ended up on Tosh.0. I ended up on World's Dumbest. I've never seen the episodes because I hate those shows. I don't watch TV. But when you have 10 or 11 people calling you the night that they air going, dude, you're on TV, and I'm going, dude, I'm trying to sleep. Click. You know, and I was also featured on a show on the BBC. I don't remember. Virtually Famous. That was it. And they emailed me like, "Can we use your video?" I'm like, "Yeah." Could I? You know, is it going to be on TV? They go, "Yeah, on the BBC." I go, "Yeah." So,
why call me an axe? Just put it.
but it's the reactions, and you know, you can go to my YouTube channel, which is Freak Out MFDB, and go and check it out.
Hey, so that was what I was going to ask you too. How they can, you know, find you and book you.
No, yeah. You can go to www.freakoutmagic.com. That is my website. I'm currently working on rebranding everything. I'm going from Freak Out Entertainment to Chris Lengyel Magic, which is basically my name plus magic. That's my Facebook page. You can go and check me out. Go and like the page. My other fan page on Facebook is for my show called Nothing Up My Sleeves Magic Show. You can go and check me out there. Follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, everything else. Freak Out MFDB. And I like to tell New Yorkers, if you want to remember it, it's just the orange line, the B train, the D train, the F train, the M train, just backwards. You know, and it's not what it was originally intended for. And I was spending an all-nighter in Times Square, and I'm like, wait a minute, that makes sense now. I can use that, you know. But no, check me out, subscribe. I subscribe back. I follow back. I have not been active on YouTube as much as I would like to because I've been so busy with shows, but I am available for shows. I do birthday parties, public events, get-togethers, restaurants and bars, corporate, you name it, I can do it, and I'm the guy for the job.
There you go. Tell me a little bit about your show.
It's definitely an adventure. I do a little of everything. I always bill it as everything from small intimate tricks to bigger stage style illusions with a little of everything in between. I do mentalism. I pickpocket people while they're up on the stage. Of course, I give everything back. You know, it's all in fun. It's good fun and games. But you know, it's a very interactive show. It's family oriented. I do have an adult themed show that I do, but I only do it when I'm recommended because it's I've been called the Howard Stern of magic before with this show.
I can imagine that.
Yeah. So, but no, you know, my show runs roughly 45 minutes to an hour, and if I'm on a bigger stage, like I just recently did a show off Broadway that ran for about an hour and a half, and it was a great show. You know, people liked it, and I'm really looking forward to being able to come back into the city and put my show on again. It's just I've been so busy booking the smaller things in Connecticut where I'm from.
Right.
You know, it's like I gotta make room. So
yeah. Hey, it's good as long as you know doing stuff and the magic is going.
Like I said, check it out. Nothing Up My Sleeves is what it's called.
That's a good name, though.
I know.
It's a good name because it is about magic. So
it was originally going to be called Don't Blink, but I was like, yeah, you know what? That sounds dumb.
Yeah, Don't Blink. Yeah.
I had a statewide public access television show in Connecticut that was called Don't Blink, and it flopped completely. I mean, I can't say it flopped. I didn't like it, you know.
Yeah.
And in my mind, if I don't like it, it must suck. So.
Yeah, we actually were talking with the Connecticut Community channel. We might be on that channel as well, and in New Jersey.
Do it up.
Yeah,
they're great people to work with.
Oh, yeah. I heard they were.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna, branching out as well as over there.
Yeah.
But you're gonna be doing when we come back from commercial break some magic tricks.
Oh, I've got some stuff for you.
So, guys, we're gonna be taking this break. When we come back, Chris is gonna be doing some of his tricks that he's pretty much famous for. So watch, and it's no camera tricks. The camera's just going to be on him.
We can assure that they don't even know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I don't even know. I'm just going to be here watching and in a maze with everyone else in the studio just watching. So we'll be right back with Chris.
Don't move.
He's got me. He's good.
As mighty armies clash in a struggle for total domination, the scales can be tipped by one man who has the courage to confront his fate and make a choice that will decide the fate of the world.
Guys put a lot of smoke in today. Wow. But anyway, we expecting a real superhero? I don't think so. The real life superheroes are the ones that are helping out in their community today. And the LDM Show will be there to bring you the events and stories to life. Do you know a real superhero? Let us know. But for now, follow us on Instagram and Twitter and like us on Facebook. Also visit our websites for photos, videos, and updates. But until the meantime, hey, I gotta be out of here.
Hey guys, if you just came back and witnessed who we have, you know what's going to happen next. But for the ones that just logged on, we're going to have a little magic show, a private magic show right here on the LDM Show. We always try to bring you the best people, but remember, check them out. Nothing under my sleeves, you know, and you won't be disappointed. But right now,
it's nothing up my sleeves.
Nothing up my sleeves. There we go. Nothing up my sleeves or my pants or nothing like that. But hey, right? Well, no, that
There's kids in here.
Yeah, right.
The remix, nothing up my sleeve and nothing down my pants.
There we go. That's the remix.
I'll put the naked magicians out of business.
Hey, but anyway, we got Chris here. He's going to be showing it up. So, no further ado, here is the magician, Chris.
All right. So the first thing that I brought a couple of things with me, but I figured I want to do this one specifically for the people that are watching. I actually have in my possession right here one of the oldest eye tests that were ever created. Now, I'm sure, as you know, the eye test where you got to read read the small lines on the board with the the letters and everything. This is actually long before that, and it was a doctor who had created this thing, and he was originally a guy who would con people out of their money. And the way that he would do this is he would show them a board with 1 dot here, and 4 here, and 3 here, and 6 here, and 1 here. And I know exactly that's the reaction, like, wait, well, what just happened? Everybody knows you can't have a board of 1 dot here, and 4 here, and 3 here, and 6 here, and 1 here. You just can't do it, Eventually, word had gotten out about the magician, not the magician. Word had gotten out about the eye doctor who had this board with 1 dot here and 4 here and 3 here and 6 here and 1 here. They always want to know how it was done. So for you guys, I'm actually going to show you how this trick is done, and you can eventually do it for your friends and family or at school when it starts up. And if you're doing school things, hire me. But anyway, so this is all you got to do. You got to go and get a piece of paper, an index card, something to write with. You got a pen or a marker, something to write with, something to write on. You draw 2 dots here, you draw 5 dots here. It's very simple the way that this works. If you cover up the dot and you tell the person what you want them to see, they're gonna see it. Like if I cover up the dot right here and I tell you that there's only 1 dot, you're gonna think that there's 1 dot when there's really 2. Same thing here. If I were to cover up this dot right here and I tell you that there's 4, you're gonna think that there's 4 when there's really 5. It's all about what I want you to see. Same thing here. You see, they don't really realize that there's not a dot there. They think I'm just covering something up, but I'm not, because there's nothing there. I tell them that there's 1, 2, 3. They think that there's going to be 1, 2, 3 when there's really only 2. Same thing here. If I cover up the space right here, it creates the illusion of 6 when there's really 5. So then, we usually go, 1, 4, 3, 6, 1, 4, 3, 6. So to actually test the people that are watching and the people that are in the studio, we're going to do it one time. I'm going to go through, you're going to tell me how many dots I really want you to think there are, and then you're going to tell me how many dots are really there. Can we do that? Alright, cool. How many here?
1.
When there's really 2. Good job. See, it goes on like that. So how many do I want you to think are here?
1.
4. When there's really
5.
5. Good job. See, it's the same thing. If I wanted, how many do I want you to think are here?
3.
3. When there's really
2.
2. Good job. See, how many do I want you to think are here? 6. When there's really 5. That's it. And it works. We'll do it one more time, a little faster. Ready? Remember, it's how many I want you to think of, how many are really there. So how many here?
1.
1 when there's really 2. Good job. See how many here?
4.
When there are really 5. Good job. See how many here?
3 of them.
3 when there's really
2.
2. Good job. See how many here? 6 when there's really
6 of them.
5. Good. See, and that's usually how it works. And then you know, you're telling me because you see, I'm serious. I've done this trick thousands and thousands of times. And the literal definition of insanity is when you do something over and over and over and over and over again, expecting a different result. I think I have finally gone insane. That's for them. So, let's thank you. So, another thing that I'm really known for is I like the applause right there. It's pretty cool. Another thing I'm known for is card magic. Card tricks are one of my specialties, and we're going to perform a couple of card effects today. I'm actually going to need. Would you want to come over here and help me? Yeah, man, get over. She's like, great. All right. So here's what is your name? Gigi, come on over, get in front of the camera, so they don't think I'm talking to myself like I usually do. Anyway, Gigi, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you pick a card out of the deck. You're going to show the cameras. I'm going to turn my back so I can't see. Ooh, look, a city. Well, that's cool. Anyway, you're going to look. You're going to show everybody what the card is. You're not going to say what it is, all right? I'm going to go like this. You're going to say stop whenever you want, and that's where we'll stop, and that's where you'll put the card back. Fair? Cool. Card's going to go back. Just say stop. Stop. Right there. Put your card back right there where you said stop. Now, do you see that card? Do you guys see the card? And at home, do you see the card? Ta-da! No, I'm just joking. No. What we can do is it wasn't on the bottom, right? No? Okay. We'll shuffle the deck. We'll try to shuffle it again. There we go. No, hold on. Here we go. Third time's a charm. It's a newer deck. Bear with me. Was not on the bottom, right? No. That wasn't your... Okay, just want to make sure. Shuffle the deck. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle it one more time for good luck. And then I'm going to do what's called the crazy shuffle. The crazy shuffle is where you take the cards and you literally rearrange the order of them so that way they're no longer facing the same direction. In doctor's terms, this is called OCD. But anyway, what you can see is that cards are now back to face, and we have some faces that are against the backs. And, you know, it just continues and back to back and face to face. You get the idea, right? Do you remember what your card is? Now, I'm not even going to touch the deck. All I have to do is just wave my hand over. Did you see anything? Now, if I told you that I found your card in the deck without touching it right here, would that impress you? That'd be pretty cool, right? A little bit. So you're saying a little bit. So I'm going to make it more difficult. I'm going to say all I got to do is wave my hand and snap my fingers. The cards are no longer mixed up. They're actually all face down again. Would that be pretty cool? That's a little bit bigger. Now, if I told you that the cards, I could literally just go like this. The cards are now fixed. I have found your card and have made your card the only card face up in this deck. That would be pretty interesting, right? That's almost impossible, but you see, it really happens because all I have to do is spread the cards out. There's one card that's different. There's your Jack of Clubs. Now, you see, we can go further with that. Now, do you want to keep the Jack of Clubs or do you want to use a different card? Okay, we can use a different card then. How's the 7? We can use that. No, do you want to choose the 7 or do you want to choose a different card? Okay, pick another one out. Show the cameras. Like I said, I don't want to see. I'll look over here this time at my phone that is not charging for some. Oh, I have a text message, that's why. You have your card. Your card's going to go back into the deck. Okay, perfect. You got it right there. All right, look at the card. You guys got it. Perfect. Think of that card. We cut the deck like this. We'll give the deck 1, 2, 3 cuts. And if I did this right, the 7 of clubs was your card. No, that was the card that we had before that I kind of... Okay, all right, so here's what we'll do. I know, right? Even the kid's saying that's not the right card. Well, no, it was not the 7, right? So I'll take the 7. I'll put the 7 right here on the table. We don't even need to use that, all right? What was your card, out of curiosity?
You remember the card?
You're not going to tell me what it is, are you? You're not going to tell me? I didn't need you to anyway. It wasn't 3 of spades. Now, do you want to snap your fingers?
Ladies and gentlemen, that was pretty good.
Good, perfect. When you snap your finger, you've literally become a human magic wand. When you snap your fingers, that's when this effect works. So the 3 of spades is going to go into the center of the deck. Whenever you snap your fingers, the 3 is going to jump to the top. Watch, snap your fingers. just like that, and it's going to jump up to the top. I'm going to do it again so you can kind of see what's going on. I'll take the 3, and I'll do what they used to do back in the Wild West when they would cheat at cards. They would bend them so that way they can see where in the deck they were placed. So you can see where it is, right, roughly. We take the card, snap your fingers. When you snap it, it'll jump up to the top. There's the 3 with the bend. Now I'm going to do this one more time so you can kind of see what's going on, all right? I'll show you where the card is, I'll show you where it's going, and we'll kind of go from there. But I want you to pay attention to where it goes. So here's the 3. It goes from here to there to there. I want you to push the card in. Now follow where it goes. All right there. Let me know when you see it. Right? If you have to spread through, let me know. All right?
You gotta look hard for the card.
It's in there.
Look hard.
Look real hard for the...
That's a little bit of card magic. So, and I'll do one more card effect, which actually, like, I promised them I would do. Actually, I'll do 2 more, because the second one is actually pretty basic, but it's based off an old street game out here in the city. But the first one I'm going to do is what I talked about earlier in the show, where I don't need an assistant for this. You good. The first one I'm going to do is the one that I had talked about earlier in the show, the first card trick I had ever learned. And that actually involves the aces, the jacks, the queens, and the kings. And it actually goes along with a story. Now, let me, there we go, there's the 4th jack, there's another queen, there's another queen, we need another, there's a king, there's a queen. Let me just make sure that we've got, all right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, all right. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's how this works, all right. We have a hotel that they, would stay at. And what had happened one time was the aces came into this hotel and they needed a room. So the guy on the, behind the counter said, okay, well, if we have room, you can have it. And he goes and checks, and he's like, luckily for you, we have 4 rooms that are available. So like, cool, we'll take them. So they each take a room, all right? The jacks decide to come in now, and they're like, yeah, we need a room. And the guy behind the counter's like, look, the aces have everything, but if you want to ask them, see if you can kind of pair up, it's fine, I don't mind. Cool. So they go, and they each take a room with the aces. The kings come in, they say, hey, we need a room. The guy's like, look, we're completely filled, but if you want to share with the aces and the jacks, go for it. They go, that's fine. They go and they share a room with the aces and the jacks. Well, the queens come in, and they're like, we need a room. And the guy's like, absolutely not. We're full. You cannot be here. So they're like, all right, fine. 2 can play this game. They go up the fire escape, and they sneak into the rooms. Word had gotten back to the guy at the desk, and he eventually called the cops. So when the cops came and everybody find out, they all got together and they started running away. And they ran, and they ran, and they ran. And as a matter of fact, they ran some more, and they ran some more. And, oh, I forgot to mention, they ran away. Eventually they got tired. They're like, we got to go back to the hotel. So they did. They ran up the fire escape, and they all went into the hotel. By the time the police had gotten there, though, they really couldn't get arrested. The reason being is because all of the queens had their own room. All of the jacks were in their own room. All of the kings had their own room, and the aces had their own room as well. Thank you. So, I'll do this last card trick. I'll get into another effect that I've got, and I want to get something really cool. And I'm actually going to need, do you want to help me?
He needs
Come on over and help me.
Me that?
Karma's gonna be the assistant on this magic
Come on over, don't be
trick.
shy.
Don't
I
be
actually
shy.
learned this, the old, the 3-card Monty game that they play on the streets? She's like, yeah, I've played that before.
Yeah.
The script, come on. This is actually based off the old 3-card Monty game that they used to play out in the streets. Sometimes they still do. I see people doing it. I use 2 instead of 3, and I mess with people all the time. So hold out your hand just like this. I'm going to give you the Ace of Diamonds. This is going to be our money card. See the Ace of Diamonds? Ace of Diamonds is going to go into your hand. Trick question. What card is that?
It's a diamond.
Look at it. Show the camera, show them, make sure it's the Ace of Diamonds, okay? I have the Ace of Hearts in my hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my card, Ace of Hearts, switch with your card, the Ace of Diamonds. But it's going to happen so quickly, you're not going to see it. You'll feel it, but you won't see it. Watch, ready? There it goes. It's switched. It's switched back. Now, trick question. What card is that?
Ace of diamonds.
You can look at it, make sure. Make sure, all right? Because there's, you can show them too, because I've got the heart, you've got the diamond, all right? So watch what happens. I'm going to slow it down and show you how I did the trick, okay? Literally, loosen up just a little bit. When I went like that, did you feel it under your thumb? All I did is I took the card out of the bottom, so I gave you the heart and took the diamond. But here's the deal. You're going to keep your card face down at all times, as will I, all right? We're not going to look at him anymore. This is the guessing game. So watch. Here's the diamond. You've got the heart. Ready? One more time. Hold on a little bit tighter. Without looking at the card, if you had to guess as to which one is on the top, what is it without looking?
Ace of hearts.
Now, if I told you that that was the diamond on the top and the heart was on the bottom, would it impress you at all? Would it be pretty cool?
Yeah.
You see, I think it would impress them too. Turn your hand over and show the camera. Take a look at it yourself.
That is
So,
cool.
and that's a little bit of what I do with the cards. Thank you. I do things with a couple of other different types of props and materials and stuff, and it's always something different with me because I'm just that kind of person. I do things, for example, with nuts and bolts. I went out to Home Depot and I bought this yesterday, as a matter of fact, for $1.18. All right, go Home Depot. But anyway, no, what it is, it's a nut, you know, it comes off of the bolt, and you know, it's there and it's there. But the way that I like this, can you come on up here and help me? Come on over here, stand over here, perfect. All right, come on right over here. What's your name?
Nayeli.
Okay. Do me a favor. Hold out your hand. Hold that. Is it real? I mean, does it do anything?
Bite it, see if it's real.
Ew.
She was like, oh, yeah.
But would you agree, like, you know, that's solid, you know, it's not gonna, here, can you hold out your fingers like this, grab a hold of it, ready? Does it bend? No? Alright, so here's the deal. We take the bolt, we put it onto the nut, and put it onto the bolt just like this. I went to public school. But anyway, so the whole thing with this is that you have to be able to hold your finger out like this. You have to be able to believe that you can do this. Now watch this, ready? Hold your finger out. Ready? Watch.
So strong, Nayeli.
Wow.
Now, you know, of course, it's because of where the bolt is positioned on the on the nut. You can actually see, like, I can literally take it and bend it like this.
What?
Blow on it. Keep going, keep going, keep going. There you go. Right there. But you see, that's not the trick though. The trick is the fact that hold out your hand. Hold out your hand. Try to bend it. Does it bend?
No.
No? And the best part is you take it, you go going, gone. Pretty cool?
Yay!
Thank you. So, take this and put it away. You can give her a round of applause.
Yay.
So one of the final things that I brought with me is these, and everybody has seen these.
Bangles.
Huh?
Nayeli.
But you see, the thing is, I do it in a very special way. We take 1 ring, 2 ring, 3, 4, 5, 6 rings made out of solid steel. We take 1, 2, 3 rings and make them. Well, hold on. There we go. See, there's number 4. All right, 1, 2, and 3. We make them magically appear around my neck. Ta-da! No. 1 more goes around my elbow. You take 1 and 1. You can actually see them start.
Wow.
to link. Now that's okay, you know, because seeing it's one thing, you have to be able to hear it too. 1, 2, 3. and it snaps just like that right on. You see, if I really wanted to, I can take the ring just like this, separate it, and make this one jump up my arm like this, and make it, go right on. Then what you could do is you kind of bounce it off the table and make it appear to link like this. See, linking them is cool. You have to be able to unlink them as well, making that 3 links, right? But then I've got the 3 that are around my neck right here, and as a matter of fact, if I really wanted to, I can just take my fingers, I can snap and throw them up into the air, and now all of the rings are going to link together like this. We could take ring number 4, slap it on just like this, and you can actually create some shapes, such as an Audi. No, yeah, one person. For the kids, I like to do Mickey Mouse. All right. For the adults, I like to do Led Zeppelin. See? You got yourself a little lantern right here. You can turn it into a diamond if you wanted to. A butterfly, because usually the joke before flies right over their head. Turn it into a snowman or New Jersey traffic lights. You see, I like to make it look like it's a little swing. Swing on a little chair right there, and turn it into one of my favorites, the Toyota logo. And just like my joke, Toyota seems to fall apart. But hey, you know what? It's all right, because at least Ford will actually circle the problem. You get it now? But I close all of my shows with this routine, and the kids love it, the adults love it. It's a classic of magic, and it makes everybody feel good at the very end.
Hello, my name is Araya.
And I am Selena.
When I grow up, I want to be a teacher.
And when I grow up, I want to be a nurse.
Did you know that individuals who drive while sending or reading text messages are 23% more likely to be involved in a car crash more than other drivers?
Also, a car crash is typical, happens within an average of 3 seconds after a driver is distracted.
The United States Department of Transportation notes that cell phones are involved in 1.6 million auto crashes in a year.
That causes 500,000 injuries and takes 6,000 lives.
On February 19, 2011, Ashley Jones Davis was killed in a horrific car accident. She was texting and driving when she left the center lane and drove head into a box truck. But she stopped short, writing in her final message, "I can't discuss this right now. Facebooking and driving is not safe." Because of this, a new law was made.
We have families that will miss us.
We also have futures.
There is no text that cannot wait until later.
So let's take this pledge and say no to texting and driving.
Together we can spread the word
and save a life. Don't text and drive.
Hey, and welcome back to the LDM Show. Unfortunately, this is the end of the show, but if you guys logged on just now at the end, where were you, first of all? Second of all, you just missed a great performance by Chris. All the action, had us guessing, still guessing, and people not knowing what the heck just happened. And again, it's not camera tricks. It was all him doing it in front of the cameras, in front of the people in the studio, kids in the studio. So it was not any illusions of cameras. So it was straight hand to hands. But
what you see is what you get.
Yeah, Chris, thank you for showing us and coming here today. Again, just let them know where they can find you.
You can find me facebook.com/Chris Lengyel Magic. I'm sure they're going to edit it so that way all the captions are down below.
Yeah.
Right, cool. So right here or something, I don't know. Facebook.com/Chris Lengyel Magic, Facebook.com/NothingUpMySleeves-Magic Show. That's my actual show page. My website is www.freakoutmagic.com. My YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter is @FreakoutMFDB. And if you ever need a magician for anything, I'm the guy. Give me a call. I do birthday parties, get-together, school events, public events. There's a good chance I might be at the picnic in September. So I'm really looking forward to being able to come down. And if you follow me, I follow back. And if you ever need anybody, I'm the guy.
And ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we bring the best that is going on in New York City, not just in the Bronx, but the whole New York City, even, international. So, and shout out to everyone that's been logging on. We have now Brazil logged on from last week, so that's great. Keep it coming. We're going to keep bringing you the best. It's the reason why we win awards for this show. And if you guys got ideas of who you want to try to bring on, hey, it can be in the construction worker dancing as he's throwing trash in the car. It don't really matter. Just bring them on. You know, whatever makes the news. But there always has to be good news. Remember that. No bad news here besides the Trump stuff and the 2-pound meat in the 1-pound bag.
I've got some ideas. Quick shout out to the LA Beast, Kevin Straley.
Okay. Shooting out names that coming on the LDM show. You know, we'll try to make you as famous as possible. But hey, Chris, thank you. And again, we'll probably be seeing you on Summer Bash on September 2nd.
Yep.
That's a free event for kids.
Come down.
Over 100 bags are going to be given out. So, you know, we're going to be trying to do that. So, you know, it is great. We have Nightline Radio as a sponsor. LDM Show is there. Laloma Inc. Productions. WellCare, I think, is going to be a sponsor, and a couple other places. So, and then it's all free that everybody's putting in stuff just to give to the kids. Even shows, performers. We have 2 kid performers singing, dancers. So, and it's all free for the community. So I can't keep saying free. But anyway, thank you, Chris. It was lovely you have been here. Hopefully we see you again.
Love to come back.
You know, we always gonna have guest co-hosts. So maybe one day you'll be a guest co-host here, hanging out with us. But again, log on the LDM Show, download the app, check it up on the thing, and now, if you have not been on our Facebook or Instagram, we are on your radio station in your car. If you have a touch screen, all you got to do is download the app, and we're in there. So you can take us anywhere. There's no excuse. I'm Charles Laloma. This is Chris, the magician. Check him out. Again, nothing under my sleeves, right?
Nothing up my sleeves.
Up my sleeves. Why I keep saying under my sleeves? Oh, because we were saying under my pants. That's why.
Yeah.
A little side joke. That's why. But hey, if you're amazed what you see on the video, hire him, because you'll be amazed what you see in person. I'm not saying don't watch him in video, but you better watch him in person. Find out where he's going to be and follow him. This is Charles Laloma, and we'll see you next week.